So as I'm recording this video, Bitcoin is reaching all-time highs. So there are a lot of people interested in how they might buy into Bitcoin, and particularly over the last year as it's gone up and up and up in huge amounts. I've been answering lots of questions about this. So I thought it'd be worth doing a video where I talk a little bit more about what Bitcoin is and then show you how you can buy Bitcoin using my preferred app, which is Coinbase. So welcome to the Looking After Your Pennies YouTube channel. My name is Charlotte Jessup, and Bitcoin has been receiving so much attention in the media, on social media, around its price. So my first look into Bitcoin was back in, I think, 2018. And it was my husband that actually did the research around this. And he said to me, you know what, let's just buy some. We'll buy it now and we'll have it as a long-term investment. We'll have it for our kids. Now, I think we bought Bitcoin when it was about £5,000. And at the moment, it's up at about, I think, £46,000 at the time that I'm recording this video. Now, I want to say to you that we bought into this knowing that we could lose it all. And Bitcoin is a really volatile market. All cryptocurrencies are, so not just Bitcoin. We have no history of how they're going to perform. They're still really new, so we don't have any even clues as to what might happen in the future. So you need to know that if you are choosing to invest in Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies, that this is a high risk investment. Now, for us, Bitcoin is just a part of a bigger portfolio. We have the majority of our investments are in the stock market. We have a few individual stocks, but most of it is in index funds. So that's our preferred way to invest. Bitcoin is just a small part of that strategy. And you need to do this research as well. This is not me giving you advice and saying go ahead and buy Bitcoin. You need to decide if this is something that is right for you, given what you know about the risks involved. So what is cryptocurrency? Bitcoin is just the first real sort of substantiated example of cryptocurrency. There are loads and loads of other cryptocurrencies out there. And there were some even before Bitcoin, but Bitcoin was the first one that actually kind of made it and has become mainstream. We think of cryptocurrency as a form of digital money. So imagine if we went into a cashless society and we were paying for everything with, our bank card, and it all just was like numbers on the screen in our bank account, and they went up or they went down depending on whether we got paid or we, paid somebody. And that is kind of how Bitcoin works, except that there is no bank. It's just money being transferred between two people. So I guess one way to think of it is as digital cash. So it is, imagine if you wanted to give some pocket money to your kids, you give them a £5 note if they're lucky, and then that's just you passing that money to them. There's no anybody else getting involved, there's no encrypting it, it is just a simple transaction. So that is essentially what cryptocurrency is, but in digital form. So it's just passing money from one person to the other without going via that middle man. Now, there is a whole load of technology behind this. So when we look at the blockchain technology, so this is a way of keeping really detailed records, what's the history of something, essentially. And Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is the first real use that we have of this tech. There are lots of ways that it could be really useful in other industries, but this cryptocurrency is the first example of this blockchain technology. This means that we can pass Bitcoin from person to person, and it will hold this digital record of where it has been. So if, for example, I gave you a Bitcoin, which would be very lucky and it's not going to happen, then it would know that I have passed that Bitcoin to you. It would also have embedded in that code the history of where I got the Bitcoin from myself and who else had it before me. So that's essentially how blockchain works, and it's all encrypted within the currency. Now, a lot of people worry about actually what it is and, if it would just disappear. And actually, this you can say about anything. So for example, let's say you wanted to buy a designer handbag because actually you think that's going to be a good investment, it's going to go up in value. Now, that handbag only has value because of the value that we place upon it. And we can extend this even into the cash. Essentially, that £5 note is just a bit of plastic. We only give it a value because that's how we perceive it. We know that £5 can buy us, a coffee or a Big Mac. So we give it value. And the same is true when it comes to cryptocurrencies. It has value because we believe it has value. We want it and somebody else is prepared to sell it to us. So therefore it has a value. Just like with all things supply and demand, if something is in short supply, the price goes up and the demand goes up and therefore it has greater value. So it's all about how we perceive these things, the rarity of them, and how much value we want to give to them. So cryptocurrency, yes, could be worthless if we all turned around and decided it was worthless, but because people still believe that it has value, therefore it does hold value. So let's talk a little bit more about Bitcoin itself. So Bitcoin was actually invented in 2009, so it's like 12 years old now. And there's a kind of a bit of a mystery around who the person that actually invented it was. We have a name, but we're not quite sure who that person is. So it was kind of like the first real cryptocurrency that made it into the market. And there have been a whole load of others that have followed it, but it's still the main one. And when it comes to looking at cryptocurrencies, people usually focus on Bitcoin and how that is performing. Just because Bitcoin's performing well there doesn't mean that the others are performing well as well. They all have their own minds and they go up and down accordingly. Now, there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin, okay? There is a fixed amount. At the moment, there are about 19 million of these Bitcoin in existence. Bitcoins come from mining, which is essentially using computer data, and the payment is Bitcoin. It's a bit complicated, so I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail, mostly because I don't entirely understand it myself. There have been 19 million Bitcoin mined so far, so we've only got 2 million left to find. Now, what happens when we get to that 21 million Bitcoin, we're not quite sure, but what could potentially happen is we see a limit to the amount that are available, so it could drive the price up. But like we say, we don't know. It might go down, it might go up. It's a very volatile market. So where can you use Bitcoin? Now, it's great having this money, but can you actually spend it? Well, actually, more and more companies are accepting Bitcoin. So an example of this might be Microsoft. You can buy things on Microsoft shops and stores with Bitcoin. There are also certain Etsy sellers that are accepting Bitcoin as payment now. The most famous example is probably that Tesla have now said that you can buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. So there's got some, buzz around it. So more and more retailers, and there are other examples of this as well, that's not a complete list, are saying, yes, you can buy things with Bitcoin. There are even some Bitcoin machines where you can take money out in Bitcoin. I've seen a couple of these dotted around the world. So there's more and more things like this that exist. There are also Bitcoin credit cards, debit cards, where you can pay for things. So it comes to a point where you will be able to go into Tesco and you can buy things in Bitcoin using that card. So let's get into it. How exactly do we buy Bitcoin? So you are going to need some sort of app or use some sort of platform that allows you to get access to that. The one that I use, and my husband uses this as well, is Coinbase. So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of how you can do that today. Okay, so here I am and I'm logged into my Coinbase account. The signing up process is super easy. And if you use my link below, you can get yourself £7 of bonus Bitcoin when you pay in, I think it's when you buy £70 of Bitcoin. So if you're thinking about buying it, then please feel free to go ahead and use my link, and then we both get a little bit of an additional bonus too. Once you've signed up, you can also use this link and refer your friends if they want to go ahead and do the same. Now, Coinbase allows you to buy all sorts of other cryptocurrencies. So if I go in here, top of my watch list is Bitcoin. So I've already connected my account and done all the sign up process. So you would have to do this. It's super easy. You just fill in the details, all the information that they want. So Coinbase is a well-known company. They've been around for a while for people that want to buy Bitcoin. They are secure, so you don't have to worry about the details and things that you're putting in. So let's go ahead and buy some Bitcoin through this app. So I'm going to click on Bitcoin here. So here we can see the Bitcoin price, and as you can see, this is a very wavy graph. This is just over today though, so if I start zooming out, you can sort of see how things have changed over the last year and then throughout the lifetime of Bitcoin. So you can just have a little look. Now, I've already got some Bitcoin in my Bitcoin wallet there, so I could sell that if I want. But actually, today I want to just go ahead and buy. So I'm going to click that button in the middle there and then click buy crypto with cash. So they've got a whole range of different cryptocurrencies you can buy, and right at the top there is Bitcoin. So for the sake of this, I'm just going to put £10 in there today. And you can see that that's just a one-time purchase. I'm not going to set this up as a regular thing, but you could if you wanted this to be part of a bigger strategy for your investments. So I'm going to click preview buy. And there, as you can see, it shows me that I own like 0.000193331 Bitcoin if this goes ahead. You can also see a breakdown of the fees there, and you can see how the price that I'm buying it at, the purchase that I'm making, and you can see this Coinbase fee. So if I have a little look here, you can see the information about the fees. So feel free to go ahead and have a look at that and see how they work that out. I'm just going to close that for now, go back to actually buying this Bitcoin. So I'm going to click buy now. And then hopefully that's all going to go ahead. Like I said, you will need to link your card up to this to ensure that it all goes ahead. There are various different ways you can pay, including things like using a card or doing a bank transfer. So just waiting for that to go through. It should all come through nicely, and then you're done. And it might take a little while for that to go through, and then it will show up in your portfolio over here. So as you can see, I've got like £17.12 worth of Bitcoin at this point. So like I said, there are other places that you can buy Bitcoin as well. There is an app called eToro, which does like stocks, shares, ETFs, and also you can buy Bitcoin through there. I'll do another video about that another time. There's also another app called Binance. You can buy Bitcoin through there. So have a look around, look at things like the fees, and decide which platform is going to be right for you to buy Bitcoin. The actual process itself is simple. What you need to consider first is whether it is right for you and whether it's something that you want to consider as part of your portfolio. So that's it for me today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment to let me know whether you're investing in Bitcoin and if you have any further questions about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in general, and I will do my best to answer them for you. If you want, you can go and check out my other social media. So I'm on like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. I'd love to see you over there, and you can come and interact with me there too. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.